Welcome to the collective. I thought we'd take a moment between children screaming and the sound of leaf blowers and lawnmowers to take a look at my raised garden and how I've sectioned it off into several sections. I want to plant beets and carrots and small things. I took a chance and I'm planting bush beans towards the back so they don't interfere with the sun. So we'll see what happens. If it gets too big, then I'll just repot it. But yeah, here we go. It's planting day for both this and the hydroponic system, and I'll probably give you a peek at that too. So yeah, that's what's going on for today. As I was recording, I had to rescue a bumblebee that had stumbled in the set. But I'm just going to plant some things, anything that's taller, because my sun comes out this way. Anything tall I'm going to plant in the back. That's why I planted one little bean for a bean bush. I know it's too big. Like I said, I'll plant them later. But maybe a daikon radish or two, and then I'll get smaller as I get towards the box from here to here. But I will probably do carrots and daikon and regular beets. And I'm not sure what else. I want to do leafies, but I want to do them in a concerted effort in the greenhouse so I can try to get those 24/7 all year round. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to plant for fun. This is just a fun thing. And then we'll get started on the hydroponics. Four hours later, we have pretty much everything planted except for the big area out here and maybe two little areas there. Beans, some dill, carrots and beets, kohlrabi, and then we went with some of the leeks that we had started in the garage. So now I'm going to turn my attention to planting some clones. I propagated this blue ebb rose. It's beautiful. It has a beautiful blue purple rose that smells very fragrant, very heavy cologne. Smells like you're in a bar almost. I have two of those clones that survived out of the 6 that I planted, but I wasn't really trying. But due to popular demand on Facebook, I think I'm going to try to clone on purpose using the turbo cloner more of those roses and see what I can do with them. So I'm going to plant those into bigger pots and I'm going to put them in the shade. Let's see if I can do this. Right, so I'm going to plant these in the shade here under the house so they can get acclimated since they were raised in the greenhouse. I think if I put them in the sun they would just die. I mean, the leaves would burn up, so you got to get them acclimated. So the two clones, one's in the little pot here and then one's in the gallon. I'm going to put the little pot guy in a gallon and continue cloning. But like I said, I want to clone more of these over the winter. I use willow water, so that means water with some willow branches put in it to encourage rooting. And what I would normally do is put them in a peat pot like you saw here, but I would just plant them shallow, and I would plant the node and a bit of stem in shallow, but I think I'll try to turbo cloner and see what happens just for fun. So that's the deal with that. I still have to plant my hydroponics, so either there will be a part 2 of the video, but we'll see as I try to get this out with the newfound knowledge that I have of course, the editing tool that I have, the new one. And here we have 2 bird's eye peppers that were given to me from a friend as little seedlings. So these are a little small than I'm used to. I mean, shoot, I'm used to them being bigger. Well, I've never tried these brands, so maybe it's a small brand. But they go into the 1 gallon pots and then they go back into the greenhouse. So with these guys, while I'm planting the tomatoes into the hydroponic system, they're in dirt, but I'll take these lower leaves off because you want to plant the stem to about here. You know, you can maybe take that one up, but I'm going to plant it up to here. And I'm going to take the dirt and put it in a 5-gallon pail of water, and then take all the dirt out until it's just root. So you see the plant. I went ahead, it's got the dirt in it, and then I just take it out of the thing, and then I stick it in the water. I'll shake it. This is how you convert it to the roots. So there you go. You have nothing but the roots, and then it goes into hydroponics. So here's the hydroponics. You take that, and then you stick it through the hole, and you drill it in to the hydroponics perlite solution. Then you stick it out, and bam! You now have a planted tomato that has hydroponics in it. Amazing stuff. There you go, and you make sure the nozzles are okay, and there you go. And it looks, oh wow. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's a volunteer tomato plant that came out from last year. So of course it's not as good as it should be, so I'll probably plant it with a real one, a big one, but from there we'll see. So that's what I'm going to do to all these. In the back will be tomatoes. These guys will be tomatoes, and the ones in the front will be the tomatillos. Yep, these guys are tomatillos. So, you know, and I'll probably do the Cordovas in the back, and then maybe some Japanese trefoils, because I love them. So I'll only have a few, you know, tomatillos, because I don't even know what to do with them. And every time I've tried, they've been really bitter, and just gross. So I'm learning how to make something with them. So it'll be fun. That's what this is all about, right? Is experimentation. No one's an expert. I do it in a graph too, so that any dirt fertilizes my yard too. See, all dirt. See all the healthy tomato roots. This is how I convert soil to hydroponics anyway. If you have a Dutch bucket, or you have a new nice cool plant in the store, and you want to put it in your hydroponic system, but it has dirt on it, this is how I take care of it. This probably won't work for some of the finer stuff where, like if you do aeroponics with the 5-spraying mist, you'll probably be stuck with having to make seeds that are, you know, dedicated just for hydroponics. But there you go. For these guys, they're going to go into the hydroponic system like I showed you before. I always plant my tomatoes lower because my other station is higher. There we go. Yeah, see, pretty easy. I've already taken the old roots from the last season out of here and sifted through it, but I still use the same old perlite. I haven't had any issues with, what do you call it, the blight with this. It seems to be pretty resistant or hardy or whatever. But what I'll do is I'll follow this with some clean perlite, because by taking the roots out, I had to drain some of the perlite out. You know, so it's like maybe 3/4 full instead of a full, you know, full bucket. So I'll probably refresh and top it off a little bit. You can hear the sump pump, and the sump pump is actually, because of siphoning, this is actually pouring water through here without the pump dripping water in here, so it'll always be moist. But of course that goes through the gutter system, and the sump pump will go and put it up there. So it's a free service, I guess. We have the last 2 Cordovas. Shout out to Territorial Seeds, where I got the Cordovas. We have a very fun, interesting neighborhood that I live in. So yes, 2 more, and then we'll do the Japanese trefoils. And there we go. And there we are. And they look kind of insignificant, but if you've seen my past videos, you'll see that these things will truly explode. And the birds that were in here, actually, they're running around the yard, but my dogs are, you know, supposed to stay away from them, and they do pretty well. So the fledglings are running around and the mamas are feeding them. So hopefully soon I can get my yard back from the birds. On to my Japanese trifles. Woohoo! Look at all the roots. These guys were in actually peat pods, and I just dunked the peat pods in the 5-gallon bucket of water, and they all came out. So they're just fine. You just treat them. It looks, like I said, they look kind of weird now, but you plant. So I try to plant as much as I can up to the stem. So I get these guys deep in here so they get as much stem as I can give them, because they'll turn to root and then they'll explode. So good stuff. And that's why I don't mind too much of the leggy ones, because they will actually do very well. These are my Japanese trifles, and they will do just fine. And they're a little late because I'm planting these late. I usually plant these by Mother's Day. This one has 2 holes in it. Now these come from the greenhouse, so I don't worry too much about, like, I don't know, they're not going to burn up in the sun. There, planted, good to go. There, all planted, good to go. Can you see the bird? It's a little baby chick waiting for mom. Mom isn't as upset as she used to be, but she feeds, there's like 3 of these guys running around the backyard. And my dogs know, but I'm keeping them away from the birds. Mom's still feeding the birds, everything's happy. I can't wait for them to fledge so I can let my chickens out. But it's been really fun watching these guys grow up from being in one of my my Dutch buckets in a nest to fledging and then running around the backyard and then going to be with mom. These are dark-eyed juncos, I believe. And this was the nest they came from with their eggshells. You can see. And they lived in here, and then I took the injectors out so they wouldn't get wet when I activated the greenhouse or the hydroponic system. So this will be a lot of peppers and some zucchini, and catch me on the next video for that one. And I hope you have a great day and have a chance to plant, and teach a kid how to plant would be fun too. So please like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later. I hope you had fun with me. This was kind of fun.